Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I'm going to do a makeup update. I have been doing my makeup a different way, and there's also a lot of products that I've been loving that I haven't really mentioned or talked about. So I really want to update you guys on how I do my makeup and also update you guys on the products that I've been loving. As you can see, I'm in a different setting today. I'm in my living room. I just wanted to switch it up and I wanted to sit on a table and do my makeup, be comfy and just chat to you guys. So as always, I'm going to start with skincare. I use Pixie Glow Tonic. This is a Mahusive Mahusive size. I'm so grateful that they always top me up. So just go for the skin. I've had a couple of breakouts recently, as you can see on my nose here, and then one on my chin here, and then one here, which is very unlikely because I haven't had a breakout in probably years. But I think because I've been eating things that I shouldn't have been eating, it's made me break out. So I do the Glow Tonic, and then I go in with the Ordinary Niacinamide. Just do a little drop, not too much. It's really good for people who have large pores and oily skin. It's definitely a must before makeup for me now. I've grown so used to it. And then next is moisturizer. I'm using Elemis Superfood Hydration Juice. As you can see, it's nearly finished. It's kind of to the end. So I put a pump and a half of this all over my face. And again, this is really light and really good for oily skin. Then I move on to SPF. Kiehl's Aqua Gel. Been using this for a long time. Again, this is really good for oily skin people because it's more like a lightweight lotion gel instead of like a thick heavy cream. I always start on my cheeks because that's where I want the most protection, and then I go all over my face. So for lip care, I'm using this Decote lip oil. It's really moisturizing and it smells really nice. It smells a bit like lychee. So moving on to correcting my dark circles, I use the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector when I have good kind of not too much dark circles kind of days, because it's quite light and it's just brightening. But when like today, I've got quite dark circles because for the past couple of nights I haven't been sleeping that well. I use the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Super Concealer, and this is just a little bit more coverage and it's a lot more peach, whereas the Becca one is a lot more flesh toned, I guess. So just a small amount underneath the eyes. This really helps counteract the darkness that's under there. So just tap tap tap, especially on this area where the darkness is more prominent. Been using the Fenty foundation a lot. This is number 145, especially when I'm wearing a mask as well, because this doesn't transfer and it just lasts a long time. And if I'm not wanting to wear this, then I go in with IT Cosmetics CC cream. This is in the shade medium and this is the matte one. And if I'm not wanting to wear neither of these, then I use my Laneige Cushion Compact in number 23. But the thing about wearing a cushion compact is that it's a lot more dewy finish, so when you wear a mask, it's not as long lasting, and sometimes I do get smears around my face. So this one if you want long lasting, this one if you want long lasting but lighter coverage, and then this one if, I don't know, you don't need to wear a mask, I guess. So if you just go in, actually you have to wear a mask everywhere. What I mean is kind of like if I was at home and I had friends coming around, or even if I just wanted to take a picture at home for makeup purposes, then this is a good all-rounder. If we didn't have to wear a mask, then I would wear this a lot more. With a wet sponge, like a damp sponge, all over. I always start in the middle of my face now. and then blend outwards, because I find that I'll use a lot less foundation this way. So I've got my foundation on, and unlike before when I used to wear like quite a thick layer of foundation, I have quite a thin layer of foundation, and you can still see my blemishes because I haven't applied too much. So what I do now instead is go in with a concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I used to use the colour Custard, but then I found that Custard was a little bit too dark for me, so I've switched to this colour. This is Cafe Conlesh. This is number 2.6 light. So what I do is go under my eyes to cover any dark circles, of course. I apply quite a generous amount of this concealer because it doesn't cake at all. Under my nose area, and then on any blemishes that I have. So it's just around my chin area. I think it's just from wearing a mask maybe. I'm not really sure. And then I go in using the same foundation sponge. Just tap that in. I actually don't mind if I have a blemish or two just peeking through or showing. I think it looks a lot more natural like that. I'm not really fussed about covering it up completely. I'm quite happy with how it just looks like that. And besides, I'm gonna be wearing a mask anyways. So because my face is looking a little bit flat, I go in with the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. This is in number 2, and this is a lot lighter than my skin tone. So what I use it for is brightening the under eye area, highlighting the T-zone. And normally I would apply some here, but I haven't really been doing that because of the mask wearing situation, but just for this video's sake I'll put some here and then blend. Next up I'm going to use the Fenty Cheeks Out cream bronzer in number 2. This is called Butter Biscuit. It's basically a cream bronzer and I use it to contour. So I'm just going to contour my nose. And the one thing that I stopped doing was contouring my cheeks with cream. I use powder instead now, but for my nose I always use cream because it looks a lot more natural than powder, but because I don't really contour much now, I think powder is fine for my cheek area. So for my nose I use this one, cream contour. Works really well, it's a really nice colour as well. Once my nose contour is done, I go in with Holy Grail Laura Mercier setting powder, always. And instead of before where I used to just whack it on, I use a brush instead now. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. Instead I press my under eye, so it's a lot lighter. I find that when I put too much powder on, it can make my under eye area look a little bit dry, and in turn that kind of ages me. Eyelids, setting the eyelids is important so that any eyeshadow that goes on top lasts longer, so it's not like greasy. Then I use a mini kind of powder brush from Real Techniques and then go all over, buffing the powder in. So instead of like before when I used to use a sponge and I used to whack the powder on really heavily, I do it in a thin layer now, and if I do need more powder then I go back in with more powder. But to set in everything I just need a thin layer. I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. I think this is the part that's changed the most in my makeup routine. I do kind of like more feathery, softer brows now. Let me zoom you in so you can see properly what I'm doing. First of all, I'm using the Maybelline Slim Brow Pencil. So what I normally do is I mark out the bottom line so I know the angle of the brow and which direction it's going. So like so, and then I do the same on the other side too. As you can see, I have a nice base now. And then what I use is the Turny Murley 7 Days Tattoo Eyebrow. It's kind of like a little felt tip pen. And what I do is I use this to draw fake eyebrow hairs. So I'll show you what I do. It looks quite OTT at first, but then once I've like sorted everything out, it's not bad. So let me show you what I do. Literally took like less than a minute, and now I've got like fake hair brow strokes. And the hardest part of this is getting it to look equal on both sides. I'm quite happy with this. Obviously I need to go back and do some shading and then tidy up the bottom, but I'm quite happy with how the strokes have gone. So I've got my fake brow strokes on my eyebrows now, so I go back in with the pencil and then using some kind of like motions, I filling my eyebrows this way instead of doing it quite heavy and block. And then filling the tail with the eyebrow pencil because I don't have much eyebrow hairs on the end of my eyebrow, using the same motion. And I'm going to tidy that up with concealer afterwards. And I'm just going to use some concealer to clean up that line. My brows are done. I'm going to go back into my face. So I'm going to do contouring, blusher, highlighter. The reason why I did my brows before the rest of my face is because I find that once I've got my brows on, I'm happy with wearing less makeup. But when I don't have my brows on, I feel like, oh, I need a little bit more colour, I need a little bit more contour, when actually I just need to put my brows on. So now that my brows are on, I go in with contour. This is the Smashbox contour palette in light. So I've been using this a lot, as you can tell. It's like almost empty, especially this contour colour. It's a nice cool contour colour. I just mix both of these together and then using a Real Techniques 400 contour, but not as heavily as I used to do, because what I do now is wear more blush. I never used to wear much blush. Sometimes I didn't wear blush at all, but now that I'm kind of older, my skin is more mature, I feel like I need blush, or else I just look a little bit too dry and hollow. What I also do is put some underneath my lip. This just makes my lips look a little bit more fuller when it comes to putting on lipstick. And now we're going to move on to blush, and this is the blush that I've been wearing for the past God knows how long. It's been in my makeup bag for a long time. I just feel like I haven't really tried a lot of new blushes. This is Hourglass Dim Infusion. I'm going to put some colour back into the face because it's looking a little bit just like bronzy right now. So when I apply my blush, I apply it higher up now. I used to apply it here, I apply it higher up. It just gives a nice kind of like a facelift, and then sweep it upwards. Just a little bit across the nose as well. My stomach is rumbling. It's currently 10:15 and I haven't had anything to eat. Once I finish doing my makeup, I'm gonna go out and get some lunch because I have a few bits to pick up. So yeah, blush is done. Next, going on to highlights. I'm using a small eyeshadow brush for that, and then I'm still using Becca Moonstone. I've been using this for a long time. I'm not sure if I applied it in a video because I haven't done a makeup video for a long time, but I'm so loyal to products that work. If a product works and I like it, then I use it for a long time. Yeah, I love, like, I'm loyal. Just on the tops of the cheekbones like that. Once I've done that, I haven't been wearing any eyeshadow. I've been using, again, the Smashbox palette. I use this middle colour, which is a nice bronzy contour colour, and I just do a light wash in the crease or socket of my eye, using a large fluffy brush, so it's really nice and blended and not too obvious. So it looks like a kind of like natural crease, I guess. Yeah, so it's like just like a nice bronzy wash of colour, not too obvious that you have kind of like eyeshadow on. I actually quite like this makeup look just like this. I would actually wear mascara and a little bit of lipstick and call it a day, but because of the purpose of this video and what I'm actually trying to show you, which is my updated kind of like makeup which I've been taking photos with on Instagram, I'm going to show you the whole shebang. Quite like it, but I'm going to curl my eyelashes and then do my eyeliner, which is the I think eyeliner is the biggest change to my makeup routine or makeup style. It's the way I do it, and I do it a lot heavier than I used to. Using the Cleo Kill Black waterproof liquid eyeliner. Honestly, Korean waterproof eyeliners and Japanese ones are just hands down the best. There's just something different about them. It just doesn't smudge or smudge at all. I think in the UK there's a couple that are waterproof that are pretty good, like Stila and the Kat Von D isn't bad, and I think there's a couple of more waterproof ones that I've used before, but honestly none of them compare to Korean or Japanese ones. These are just like on a whole different level. The one thing that I've been doing different about my eyeliner is I do it more higher up, so it's kind of like the fox eye trend where it's a lot more high up. I used to do my eyeliner straight out or even downward sometimes, but as I get older I realised that it's a lot more flattering for me to either have a thin line which looks very natural, or if I'm going to do winged eyeliner then point it upwards, so it kind of gives my eye an eye lift, and also it just opens up my eyes a lot more instead of before when I used to do it more sideways. It's just, I don't know, it gives me more of that cat eye sexy kind of vibe. So that's what I'm going to do today. So before I do anything, the first thing I do is do the line on both sides so that I know that they're both the same and they're going in the same direction. I think it's a lot easier like that instead of doing the whole eyeliner then trying to do the flick at the end. So I'm just going to draw a line quite thick, so like that. Can you see it's quite upwards? As you can see, I've got my two wings on, my two lines, and by the looks of it, it looks okay. Like it looks like it's going in the same direction. So what I normally do is start building it up, make it a little bit longer, and then pull it down. So from here, let me zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit more. Pull it down. So now I've got the actual corners of the wing, and then what I do from there is start in the middle and then drag it across. So I'll just blend it in. Once my eyeliner is done, as you can see, it's pretty thick. It's quite a full-on wing, which is a little bit too much for daytime, I guess, but for taking photos it's really pretty. And then I go in with eyelashes, putting on the Ardell Demi Wispies, which is my favourite go-to lash right now. So what I normally do is place it in the middle like so, and then attach the front as you would normally, but at this end bit I'm going to lift it up and attach it higher. So there's actually a gap between my lash line and the lash here. Can you see? And it just kind of makes the eye lash go whoop in the same way as your eyeliner instead of going downwards like your eye shape. And it just helps lift the eye and create even more of a cat eye look. For my under eye, I'm still using the Charlotte Tilbury Champagne Diamonds. Haven't found anything as long lasting and as good as this. So what I normally do is just apply it quite generously underneath my eyes to highlight my eyes, especially in the inner corners. Can you see how that just makes the eye pop a little bit more? For mascara, I'm using the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Waterproof. Always waterproof, or else it's gonna smudge. And if you want your short eyelashes to stay curly and stay up and not droop, then use waterproof. Sometimes I will apply eyeliner at the bottom. That makes my eyes look even more kind of like cat and sexy, but for today I'm just going to leave it because I think this is quite nice already, and yeah, it's not too much. And then moving on to my lips, I've been using a new lipstick. I bought this when ASOS was doing the 20% off everything. It's a matte lipstick called Mullet Over. It's from the Powder Kiss collection. And then using my lip liner that I always use, and you guys always ask me what I'm wearing. This is the NYX San Francisco lip liner, matte lip liner. This is really inexpensive. I think it was like £3 or something. What I'm going to do is just line the bottom because I want to overline. And then just on the top too. Yeah, that was my belly. This is literally it. This is literally my everyday makeup routine now. Sometimes obviously I don't do the winged eyeliner because sometimes it can be a bit too much. But like I said, when I was like at the point where I didn't do the wing eyeliner just before, that would be my everyday look. And then of course set it Urban Decay All Nighter. I'm gonna go do my hair and then I'll be right back. I'm not actually sure what I'm gonna do with my hair. I quite like it up, but for the whole shebang, I think I'm gonna style it. It's been in a hair tie for like the past 2 days, so I'm pretty sure I've got a big kink. Yeah, that big kink at the top. I'll be right back. I've just done my hair. I quickly just smoothed it out a little bit. I didn't really do too much because I already styled it like 2 days ago, so it's already still styled at the bottom. It was just smoothing out the kinks at the top. I brought you to this lighting because I feel like it does the look a lot more justice. There's too many like different lights over there, and this is just right in front of my mirror, which is probably where I'm going to start filming from now on. I quite like the natural daylight just like coming straight in onto my face. I think it's a lot more true to colour and a lot better of a representation of what the makeup looks like. So if I just come closer, you can see what the makeup look actually looks like. Did you like it? Thumbs up, let me know. Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit out of touch with doing makeup videos because I haven't done one in a long time, but I love makeup, as you guys know, so hopefully a lot more to come. Until my next video, I'll see you guys soon. Bye! Mwah.